Hey, how you doing? This is True One, and here I'm going to show you the restream of Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, in which they explain how the cops are going to work in the game. It's going to be similar to GTA, in which you get 5 stars, and the more stars you get, the more difficult the cops become. So until you reach like a kind of a max tac showdown with the armored police. So check out the video, and again, if you like the video, just don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit that notification bell for upcoming videos, and enjoy.
But yeah, so, and should I jump into the police system?
Yes, because I think we just made them a bit angry in there.
With vehicle combat, I should actually back up for a second. So on the bikes, you can also use melee weapons, which is a lot of fun. And then you can precision shot the gas tanks, which is different on different vehicles as they're different made. So it's one of those fun things that, as you get really good at this, you can really pull off some cool stunts. And you can hit tires with the katana blade, you can shoot tires. And so then the police system, as you get into trouble, one reason or another, you start to gain heat. And when the police show up, at first they're just like, okay, where'd the action happen? Where did the crime happen? Or where did we get called for whatever reason and whatever, kind of quest or whatever? And I try not to spoil things, but when they show up at the scene, if you're still at the scene, then of course you get into combat, but you might want to go. But if you start to really crank up the heat, then they'll send more people at you. And they have tactics. They try to run you off the road. They try to T-ball. It's so much fun when you're going full speed and suddenly, bam! It's like, we got those moments. It's really cool. So, and then if you really crank up the heat, they start to bring out their own weaponized vehicles. And then of course we're seeing here, and you crank it out even more. Now you got Max Tac that shows
5
up.
stars.
Yeah. And when Max Tac shows up, so if you're in a vehicle and Max Tac's trying to get you, you'll see on the screen they're trying to hack your vehicle to, stop you. And then if your vehicle gets hacked, then they show up in an AV, or if you're on foot already, and 4 Max Tac come out. There's 5 different archetypes, and it's a random 4 of the 5 different archetypes that come out to fight you. And one of the things is, like, as those of you who know you've played, there's difficulty modes, right? And you put on lower difficulty modes, guys are actually easier. However, with Max Tac, nope.
So they just have like one level hard.
Minimum is hard. Minimum is hard, and there's a minimum level as well. So there is no story mode for Max Tac.
So the moral is don't do crime.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, because the thing is you don't get to this level unless you want it. You really got to push for this level, right, to get it here. And so if you're engaging in that, we want to make sure that Max Tac is an encounter. So what should I go into? I mean, I could talk forever about this stuff. There's just so much.
I don't know. I was playing and I was randomly just driving and was trying to get rid of the police. And the more I tried getting rid of them, the more of them were showing up. So I actually reached Max Tac this way because I just wanted them to leave me alone.
Yeah, I just actually wanted to ask, like, what's the, the search loop for the police? Like, can you just, like, I know you can run away from them, but you have to just run and run and run, because I manage that. But is it difficult, or at some point they just so there's nobody there, let's drop the search?
Yeah. So as far as 1, 2, 3 stars, you maneuver away. We try to strike the balance of the realism, but also the agency of being like, I'm trying to get out of this. And I'm not sure what's shown in this video, but we show you, like, we expand the radar, we show the circles, and we like to, internally we call it the Pac-Man game. Because, like, if you've got like 2, 3, even 4 stars to some extent, you'll see little circles of their cone of visions or whatever, and you can navigate in the roads and avoid them and that kind of thing or whatnot. And then of course, if you get on foot, it's a little bit easier to lose them. So it should be familiar with that kind of look there. And then of course, if you go into quest areas and there's a quest you want to pursue, we tone it down appropriately for the quest as well.
Okay. Also, I don't know if we can see that here, but I remember when I was playing and I had police on my ass. I actually had the gang members. Yes, that's my one. I had actually gang members, helping me to fight the police. Is that the case as well? Like for most of the gangsters, I was just lucky.
Well, I mean, and I've talked about this in other interviews, but one of the important points is that it's the player is an agent that does stuff and it affects the world, but we also have other agents in the world, and we've also done a number of different enhancements on that front. You might see like two gangs just like chase each other. You might see cops chasing some gangsters or whatever. It has nothing to do with you. It's happening in the world. The world's alive. Now you can interfere, and particularly going back to Dogtown, if you see like a caravan doing a weapons transport or whatever, or there's an airdrop or whatever, and Kurt's militia's coming to pick it up, you can intercept, and maybe there's some cool loot to be found there or whatnot. But it's the same thing here. Like if you're into it with the police and there's something else going on with the gang, yeah, it could be a mix.
So they can help out, or not?
If you play it right, yeah. Gotta be careful where your bullets fly.
Okay. I actually also wanted to go back to the hit system, because we have the stars, but can we actually explain how you can get the stars? Like, so if I shoot someone randomly on the street, do I get already 1 star, 2 stars, or do I actually have to run through like a bunch of people to get like 3 stars?
Well, so if you commit any crime, you get a star. Like that, any crime,
Okay.
if you run someone over, if you shoot someone intentionally, you get a star. Now, especially when you get into Dogtown, but also in some other situations, you might get some stars based on quest situations, like things that are happening. And how do you? There's a formula and it's a gradient, so I can't say exactly like, okay, if you kill 3 people, it's.
Okay.
An important point, it varies by district and neighborhood.
Okay.
And funding, right? Because part of the Cyberpunk world, Night City, and the story, it's socioeconomic. So they care a bit more than others. Always one person, it's a star, it's a crime, but how far do they escalate? Do they send in the big guns? Do they send in max tac? It really depends on the funding in the district. And you also hear different, the police have different comments about what district and how much they care, what they're gonna do, and that kind of stuff.
Can we maybe tell a bit more about Dogtown police? Like, and
Sure.
will NCPD
Police
go
itself,
there?
Vargas, yeah.
Police is not allowed there, right? The thing is that there's no NCPD, right? The Vargas are there, and we said like they're trying to keep the district safe, but they're not that much trying to protect you. But still, if you're gonna shoot them, they will try to shoot you back. And the same system goes: the more you shoot Vargas, the more you shoot people, the more stars they will have.
They have different units. They have different vehicles.
Can we talk what's gonna happen over 5 stars in Dogtown? Or?
Well, it's a little bit of a spoiler. But
okay.
You already answered.
It's no spoiler, it's fine.
Yeah, okay, fine. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, there's different units, but yeah.
Okay,
but no, in Dogtown, yeah, max tac will show up, because if there's someone that's at that level and it's cyberpsychosis, because you're causing that much mayhem, that's essentially what it is. Again, player agency-wise, it's not like we take over your character and then you're doing a cyberpsychosis thing. Then yes, max tac will show up in Dogtown, but otherwise it is the Vargas militia.
All right. Can we defeat Max Tac? I know Sebastian is already killing them.
Someone's doing great jobs surviving such a long time with Max Tac. So.
Yeah. He was trying to show how badass he is. I get it. But no, and the other thing to note is in Badlands, it's Militech. Militech is out there.
All right.
In the Badlands, as far as the units go, with the heat system.